This one I just want to come from the heart and just share something with you guys, man. December 25th of 2017, exactly 1 year ago, I made my first video, and I felt compelled to get on the camera and just talk about the gift of Christmas, just talk about the gift of life, just talk about the gift of love. But I want to say something, man. This is a reflective video for me. Like I said, it's been 1 year, TIL's family. 1 year we've been going strong, we've been going hard. I just want to say, man, that if you have a relationship, bro, if you have a relationship with a passion, you have a relationship with something, and especially if you have a relationship with someone, I just want to say to you that love is not enough. I know we talked about a whole lot of things over the past year, but the main revelation that has come from all of this to me is that love is not enough. The ingredient that's missing, I know you're looking at me crazy like, what is this dude talking about? If I love somebody, man, if I love this woman and I want to be with her and she wants to be with me, if she loves me, why won't it work? If this is true, why do we have so many people that are divorced? How do you have so many people that are madly in love with each other? They're together, they love each other, they have kids together, and one day they wake up and they don't want to be together. She can't stand him, he can't stand her. Because love is just a chemical. Love is just a feeling, and you know feelings come and feelings go. Love is more of a decision. In order to make a thing work, you need knowledge. You need know-how. I can want to be a professional bowler. I can absolutely love bowling. I can spend every awakening minute thinking about bowling. I can even go out and practice bowling. But if I don't practice the proper techniques in bowling, I won't get the proper results from bowling. Just like I can love someone, I can love this woman more than anything in the world. But if I don't practice the proper techniques, if I don't use the proper tools, if I don't know exactly what I am doing, I cannot be guaranteed success. I cannot even wish and hope to have a good outcome. Practice doesn't make perfect, but damn good practice can make a damn good relationship. We got to put in the work. We don't want to put in the work. I just want to say, I love you and I love you too, baby. Let's get married. Let's go off and live happily ever after. But I don't take the time to study you. I don't take the time to find out what makes you tick. I don't take the time to find out what's your passion. I don't take the time to find out what really moves you. Why are you here? Why am I here? Why are we here? All the love in the world can't substitute that. We have to learn each other. It's about the knowledge. Without the knowledge, all things will surely perish, including your relationship, despite how much you love him or her. When I was 16 years old, one day I was getting ready to go to a basketball banquet. I played high school basketball, you know, go and try and get my little trophy or whatever. Before I headed out the door, my phone rang. It's a house phone. Some of you don't know what that is, but back in the days we had house phones. My phone rang. I pick up the phone and I heard this girl's voice that didn't sound familiar to me. And she like, hello? Hello? May I speak to Swoop? I'm like, Swoop? He not here. Who is this? I told her who I was. Another girl came, chiming in. I say, so who are you? What's your name? The first girl said, my name is Jennifer. And the second girl said, my name is Camilla. I'm like, okay. So we talked for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. They were acting silly, 15, 16-year-old girls. You know what you do. And I might say, listen, I got to go to this banquet, but I did enjoy talking to y'all. Feel free to call back and see if y'all can reach my man later on at a different time. I go to the banquet, I come back, and later on that night, the phone rings again. I pick it up. Hello? I hear this unfamiliar voice that's a bit familiar from earlier. Hey, what's going on? Jennifer? They start laughing. She said, no, this is Camilla. Okay. For some reason, I couldn't get their voices. I'm my second time talking to them. So we talk again, this time for maybe an hour. They flirtatious, being little girls, me being a little boy. I'm flirting back. It was all fun and games. So this went on for a couple of days. Around the third or the fourth day, my phone rang. I pick up the phone and I'm like, hello? Like, what's up, Jennifer? I said, no, this is Camilla. I said, oh, okay, Camilla, how you doing? I said, hey, what's up, Jennifer? And Camilla says to me, Jennifer ain't on the phone. Oh, this was the first time that they had called me and they weren't on the phone. It was only Camilla. So Camilla and I talked and we kind of hit it off. And we talked and talked and talked like only teenage kids can do. We talked and talked and talked. And this went on for days, weeks, a month or so passed by. And Camilla and I were talking every day. Every single day. One day I was at the basketball court outside basketball court. It was crowded, maybe 30, 40 guys out there playing basketball. And I was standing on the sideline. And like teenage boys do, a conversation came up about who was the prettiest girl at our school. One guy would mention one girl and a couple of guys like, yeah. Another guy would mention another girl and dudes would agree or disagree and they had little spats, little arguments. And then another school came into the conversation. And one guy said, what about Camilla? Like, Camilla? Yeah. And they said her last name. And half of the guys like, oh, yes. Ooh, Camilla. Oh, yes. Camilla, I don't see nothing. Oh, my gosh. They went on and on about this Camilla. Of course, it struck my curiosity. There was this guy named James. Excuse me. There's this guy named James. Like, James, can check this out, bro. What Camilla you talking about? And I asked him. He said, Camilla, she hang out with this girl named Jennifer. You don't know Camilla? I'm like, wow, Jennifer. Whoa. It was my Camilla. So later on that night, I went home, and sure enough, Camilla called me. I never told her that some guys had mentioned her, but of course, being a little kid, I became more fond of her, knowing how fine she was. I'm like, ooh, I got a catch. So Camilla and I continued to talk. I told her I was a little short guy, a little chubby guy. Of course, I was a tall, lanky little kid. I described myself totally different than what I really was. And she accepted me in spite of that. Months passed until it was like 4 months. We had been talking almost every day. Never had seen each other. She only lived like 10, 12 miles away. I didn't have a car at the time. I didn't go in that part of town often, if ever. So one day, one of the guys that knew I talked to her, that went to school over there with her, asking me like, hey man, I'm going over there. I would Camilla stay. You want to go over there and see her? I'm like, what? Like, yes. Yes. I call her to listen. My man coming over there to see somebody in your neighborhood. You want me to come and see you? She gets all excited. Yes, yes, yes. She wanted to see me. So you got to remember, I didn't tell her how I look. I told her something else. So I get in the car and we were like 4 deep and I was in the back seat. I pull up to this house, man. And that door opens and I see this girl comes outside. She has on, I'll never forget, she had on some white short pants and a peach shirt and some peach light tan sandals. Wow. Wow. She was banging. She was banging. Wow. So she walks up to the car. All the guys in the car are like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, look how fine this girl is. She walks up to the passenger side of the car. She looks in, sees the driver. He goes to school with her. She's like, nope. She looks at the guy on the passenger side, looks at him in his face, says, nope. She looks behind the passenger, said, you, get out. And you was me. It was a 2-door car. So my man in the front seat leaned forward and I stepped out. And when I stepped out, I had on white short pants, a peach shirt, and some white sneakers. Oh man. It's like it was choreographed. It was perfect. She hugged me around my waist. I hugged her and she told my man, okay, you can go. You can go. He's safe. He's safe with me. He rides off. Tells me I'll be back in a couple hours. I go inside, I meet Camilla's mom. Camilla's mom tells me that this is her only daughter, how much she loves her daughter. She has 2 sons and 1 daughter. And ever since she was a little girl, the only thing that she ever wanted to do, the only thing that she ever wanted to be was the mother of a daughter. And she said to me, young man, I don't know what your intentions are for my daughter, but if your intentions aren't pure, your intentions aren't good for my daughter, I'm begging you. I am begging you. Please leave my daughter alone. My daughter walks around this house all day, every day, speaking about you. She mentions you. Every time the phone rings, my daughter answers the phone. And if it's anybody on the other end of that phone besides you, she's disappointed. I know my daughter's son is very fond of you. Can you tell me, look me in my eyes, she said to me. Look me in my eyes, son. And Camilla's like, Mama. She's like, Camilla, be quiet. Be quiet. Son, look me in my eyes and tell me that you have good intentions for my daughter. Yes, ma'am. I do have good intentions for your daughter. And like a 1955 movie, I asked Camilla's mom, could I date her daughter? And she gave Camilla and I her blessings. I was 16 years old. Camilla was 15 years old. And at that moment, I loved this girl more than any man could love any woman. I love this girl. But my love alone, my love by itself was not enough. It was not enough to sustain Camilla and I. It was not enough to keep us. Camilla and I stayed together for 4 years until I was 20 years old and she was 19 years old. And I lost her. And when I lost her, again, I loved this young woman more than any man could love any woman. The night that I lost Camilla, I literally went to my grandmother's house, knocked on the door in the middle of the night. When my grandmother opened the door, I collapsed in her arms in tears, and I sobbed like a baby. And she asked me, "Baby, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And I sobbed. I tried to talk through the tears and I couldn't get the words out. I sobbed and I cried like a baby, trying to explain to my grandmother what had happened, that I lost Camilla. I finally gathered enough strength to tell my grandmother that Camilla had died. See, Camilla died in a car accident. After her and I were together for 4 years, she died in a car accident prematurely, I thought. When she died, she was driving, and she was a stickler for the seatbelt. When we were in the car together, she would always tell me, "Baby, put on your seatbelt." It's a 19-year-old girl. She was driving. Her first cousin was on the passenger side. Camilla's mom was sitting behind her, and Camilla's first cousin, who was on the passenger side, her mother was sitting behind her. So it was 2 first cousins and 2 sisters. Everyone died that day in that car accident, except Camilla's mom. Camilla's mom was in a coma for nearly 2 months. So we had Camilla's funeral. Unbearable. Absolutely unbearable. And finally, of course, Camilla's mother wasn't there, being in a coma. Finally, she came out of the coma after 2 months with Camilla's father by her side. And he told me that the first words his wife spoke when she came to was, "Where's my daughter? Where's my baby?" Before she asked, "Where am I?" Before she asked what happened, before she asked, "Hey baby, hello, hi," she asked, "Where is my baby?" And he had to tell her in his own way that they had had an accident and her sister had passed away, that they had had an accident and her sister's daughter, which is her niece, had passed away, and they had had an accident and her baby, Camilla, was gone. Her mother, Camilla's mother, was never the same. Periodically, I used to call to talk to her, but years afterwards, and after 5, 8 years, I stopped calling. I still remember the phone number, although I haven't called that phone number in so many years. I still remember Camilla's phone number. And if I call that phone number right now, Camilla's mother will answer. And as soon as she hears my voice, immediately she will begin to cry. And it snatches my heart out all over again. I share this story with you to tell you why I feel like I am uniquely equipped to say the things that I say to you on these videos. I share this story with you to tell you a little bit about me, who I am, and what perspective I come from when I talk to you about relationships, when I talk to you about loss, when I talk to you about not taking things for granted, when I talk to you about your passion, when I talk to you about your gift. Don't let your gift slip through your fingers. Make the best of your gift, because only God knows how long you have your gift. TIMS. This is my story. Y'all already know I approve this message. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, go down and press the red subscription button below. And for those of you who do comment, I dig that you did that. I appreciate you, man.